Woo. What to do, everyday people? We back up in this thing. Back with another lit live video. We gotta do this thing right. We gotta do it right. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. Okay? Now, nobody loves America more than yours truly. Nobody. What to do? Shout out to all the mods in the building. So, if you're watching this vertical, you can go back into YouTube and watch it horizontal with everybody else. So we're gonna be on 2 live streams on YouTube tonight. I'm trying something different now. I tried this before, but it was a little bit confusing. But it is what it is. Y'all can figure it out. But without further ado, welcome to the Everyday PJ Show, man, where we talk about everything politics. And this week in politics, I think this will be the end of this week. This will be the last of this week. We have Charlie Kirk's memorial, and we're going to close this one out. We're going to start a whole new chapter. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about somebody else. Because there's some new stuff there's some new stuff in the market, right? And yesterday at Charlie Kirk's funeral, we got this gem. So let's get into it.
Answer to autism. How about that? Autism. Tomorrow we're going to be talking in the Oval Office in the White House about autism, how it happens, so we won't let it happen anymore, and how to get at least somewhat better when you have it, so that parents can help their child, their beautiful child. That's a big one. I've been bugging everybody over there. Get the answer to that. I think.
Now, if everybody heard this big news, everybody was waiting for today for the big reveal. And I mean, we waited and we waited and we finally got the answer. Acetaminophen, which is in Tylenol, or any pain reliever, pretty much. Any pain reliever. I thought it was I was thinking of antihistamine. I was like, damn, it's in Benadryl. But no, it's acetaminophen. It's like in pain relievers. So I wonder if it's in Bayer, because Bayer is, I like using Bayer, but it's neither here nor there. But Tylenol, I give my kids Tylenol. They say Tylenol is the only thing that women can take while they're pregnant. Have y'all heard this? I know I ain't the only one that heard this. Like, so it's shocking. And I think I want to hear more about it. I want to hear more about the acetaminophen. I want to see more about it. I want to know the details, because if this is true, we all been bamboozled, and doctors push that. They be like, just take a couple Tylenol, and they push it when you're pregnant because you're in pain, because you got, take a few Tylenol. Tylenol stock, man. If you got Tylenol stock, your stock just died. I'm not saying I'm gonna do the research, But this is what we heard today. We heard today that acetaminophen it causes autism. I mean, it's great that we finding this news out. We actually found out at at Charlie Kirk's funeral. What a place to break the big news. I'm not saying whatever it is, just go with it. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I know how to say autism. It causes autism. Like crazy, right? Hey, listen, man. Y'all heard it from Trump himself. If he said it, it gotta be true. If he said it, gotta be true. So, anyway. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I would like to find out more about this acetaminophen. I would like to find out so much more about it, to find out if this is actually true. But like I said, listen, I guess it's better to find you a holistic doctor. Dr. Sabi, don't or bleep that, strike that from the record. I don't want to come up missing. But if holistic is the way to go, I've heard so many great things about it, sea moss and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna stay away. I'm gonna stay away from Tylenol for a while. I'm gonna stay away from Tylenol for a while. Anyway, let's get into some more jewels that been dropped during Charlie Kirk's funeral.
I want us all to remember, you cannot be the land of the free if you're not the home of the brave. You got to stand up for what you believe in. And in closing, I want to read a passage from John 12:24, remembering that Charlie was shot at 12:24 p.m. Verily, verily, I say unto you, this is Christ speaking, except a corn of wheat fall onto the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it bringeth forth much fruit. And I want to thank Charlie for his sacrifice, because much fruit is going to be realized. Thank you. And I want us all to remember.
Yeah, we just love us some Ben. Dr. Ben Carson, man. Why did Dr. Ben, wasn't he like a neurologist? Couldn't he tell us if acetaminophen was a cause of autism? Like, why Robert F. Kennedy got to tell us? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I need to know. What do people in the chat, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? Like, we got a neurologist right here a neurologist who was the head of housing, HUD. How does that make sense? I don't know. But whatever, he was the head of HUD, not in pharmaceuticals. Not the head of pharmaceuticals. Instead, we got Robert F. Kennedy, a Democrat, I think. Something like that. And Ben Carson, he ain't said nothing about it. Ben Carson ain't said nothing about this. But, yes, I got all the answers. I'm telling you, I got all the answers. But to save my life, I'm not going to tell y'all the truth, okay? Like, let's be real. If I start telling y'all the truth, y'all know what happened to people who tell the truth in America. They don't last long. Release the Epstein files, I sure that. But that didn't, I would have been more happy if they came out here and said, and we got security clearance to release the Epstein files. Yo, sign me up. I would have been there, front and center. But instead, we are here.
And to those trying to incite violence against us, those trying to foment hatred against us, what do you have? You have nothing. You are nothing. You are wickedness, you are jealousy, you are envy, you are hatred. You are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing. We are the ones who build. We are the ones who create. We are the ones who lift up humanity. You thought you could kill Charlie Kirk? You have made him immortal. You have immortalized Charlie Kirk. And now millions will carry on his legacy. And we will devote the rest of our lives to finishing the causes for which Charlie gave his last measure of devotion. You cannot defeat us. You cannot slow us. You cannot stop us. You cannot deter us. We will carry Charlie and Erika in our heart every single day and fight that much harder because of what you did to us. You have no idea the dragon you have awakened. You have no idea how determined we will be to save this civilization, to save the West, to save this republic. Because our children are strong, and our grandchildren will be strong, and our children's children's children will be strong. And what will you leave behind? Nothing. Nothing. To our enemies, you have nothing to give, you have nothing to offer, you have nothing to share, but bitterness. We have beauty, we have light, we have goodness, we have determination, we have vision, we have strength. We built the world that we inhabit now, generation by generation, and we will defend this world. We will defend goodness, we will defend light, we will defend virtue. You cannot terrify us, you cannot frighten us, you cannot threaten us, because we are on the side of goodness, we are on the side of God. And to my friend Charlie, to my brother Charlie, I know you are looking at us right now. I know you're watching Erika right now. I know you're watching your children right now. And I promise you, my friend, I promise you, my brother, we will prove worthy of your sacrifice. We will prove worthy of your time on earth. We will make you proud. We will finish the job. We will defeat the forces of darkness and evil. And we will stand every day for what is true, what is beautiful, what is good. And we will achieve victory for our children, for our families, for our civilization, and for every patriot who stands with us. God bless you. God bless Turning Point. God bless Erika. God bless the Kirk family. God bless our heroes. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Yeah, so about that speech, man, I mean, I felt it. I felt he had passion in it. He was deeply passionate about what he felt. You know what I mean? And the evils and darkness, murdering someone for their opinions and their rhetoric is wrong. Okay, so let's fight that evil right there. Freedom of speech. We should have that. As we can see, not all freedoms are free. Not all freedom of speech is warranted. And it won't be free because your light bill ain't free if you lose your job speaking freely in your speech. So sometimes you got to tone down what you're saying, just so you don't piss off everybody. And one thing I heard about people who disagree with the things that Charlie Kirk said, you know, it's this word they call them sheep. Don't they use the word sheep and what other words? I don't know. They always, you know, it's the sheep. The sheep. You followers. You followers. Listen. You can follow whoever you feel like. You can believe in what you want to believe in. But this sounds like inciting something more deeper than just a speech. This is going borderline. We out to get you. It's borderline. We out to get you. And I just want y'all to know how much of our freedoms will be taken away if we keep going this way. I think we should. The lesson we should have learned from Charlie Kirk is one of being less divisive. But we keep getting more and more divisive. I don't know. He's not talking about Democrats. Because if he was talking about Democrats, Democrats aren't evil. Republicans aren't evil. People who do dumb shit are evil. Okay? So you can just narrow that down to a smaller number. He's not talking to Democrats. He's talking to people who can't stand the sight of another person speaking his mind. Now, my thing is, you don't have to listen. You don't have to listen. But I don't know who this guy is. The White House Deputy Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller. You know what he want to do. Y'all know what the right wing want to do. Okay, so you don't have to second guess. When they tell you, like before January 6th things happen, people tell you stuff and y'all go do it. Same thing with the George Floyd riots. People telling y'all stuff. People wearing masks, going and breaking buildings, breaking glass at buildings. Stuff like that. Bringing a lot of division, causing more division, bringing an uproar. It ain't gonna get us nowhere. It's gonna divide us more. I don't wanna have to sit in my home worried about because I voted for a Democrat that I'm gonna be shot just driving down the road. I'm definitely not finna find them stupid bumper stickers on my car. I wouldn't put one on there anyway. But even if I did, I don't wanna be targeted for it. You shouldn't have to be targeted because of your political affiliation. Okay? Now, we've already said a million times, this death is not warranted. He shouldn't have died for this. But, no buts. But people say, I'm going to say but because it just makes the sentence sound right. If it's not worth dying for, is it really worth your cause? Because if you got something that strong to say, you should be willing to die for it. My kids, I'm willing to go to hell, jail, or hell or jail. That's I'm willing to go for them. It's either one of the two. But politics, I'm not going. Divisiveness, I'm not trying to be a divisive person. I'm bringing y'all together. Okay? But I think this guy's trying to incite something in people that we're not ready for. We don't want a civil war. And it's more of a war cry. You know what I'm saying? Can you dig it? Can you dig it. That's all. If he said that at the end, it's definitely about to be a fight. If he said, can you dig it at the end?
I'm not a conservative, but I just left the Charlie Kirk memorial, and here are my thoughts. First of all, let me just say that the memorial was absolutely beautiful. From the moment that you walked in, people were praising, singing about the Lord and about Jesus Christ. And it was so moving and it was so powerful. At times I got choking up and I started tearing up. It felt, if you could feel the presence of God there. And when I sat down, people started talking to each other. And I told people right there and then, like, I'm not a conservative. I'm a disagreeer on many issues that Charlie talked about. I don't consider myself MAGA, but I really wanted to come. And you want to know what their response was? It wasn't like this immediate backlash or what do you not like or why are you here? It was, that's okay. Thank you for coming anyways. Like, this is really cool that you came. And I thought that was really, really powerful and something that the media doesn't really say about people on the right. And so I really appreciated that. Now, the first few speakers were great. I can't remember all of their names, but they were excellent. I thought Marco Rubio did a great job. Tucker Carlson, amazing. And then, of course, Erika Kirk. I mean, when she said that she forgave the killer of her husband, I think everyone had tears running down their face. It was a beautiful moment. But some things I didn't really like and I wish were different was a few of the speakers. So Stephen Miller gave a speech where he said that the left were evil, and I didn't really appreciate that. I don't think it was appropriate. I thought it was too aggressive, and as somebody there that I don't consider myself a part of the MAGA movement, I just thought that was really distasteful and not something that Charlie would have wanted or even said. Donald Trump Jr. started talking about God, which I thought was pretty disingenuous since he never talked about it before. And then Trump's speech was a campaign speech. It wasn't even about Charlie, really. And my only other thought is that I really wish they would have brought somebody from the left who knew Charlie, disagreed with him, but could talk about his character. I think that would have been really powerful and a beautiful moment for our nation. But overall, it was a beautiful service. I am so happy I went and participated in this historic event. And even though I don't agree with all of the topics, and I don't consider myself a conservative or MAGA movement, I really did appreciate the acceptance and the overall vibe of people there.
I think y'all need to sit with that one. Some of y'all need to come back to this one and be like, you know, you really got to think. We all humans at the end of the day, so let's get to it.
I forgive him. My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life.
Young white men.
That young man, on the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That man, that young man, I forgive him. I forgive him because it was what Christ did and is what Charlie would do. The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love. Love for our enemies and love for those who persecute us.
Yeah, do y'all love? I mean, I don't. When outside of Charlie Kirk, I don't know how much he really loved. I don't know, because by his rhetoric, and let me tell you, I seen a million clips, and then over the weekend, I had time to go watch a little 30-minute podcast with Charlie Kirk, and I sat back and I listened, and I said, most of y'all don't know. Most of y'all don't know Charlemagne the God back in 2013, 2015. Or if y'all ever heard of Star and Star Report, Star used to work in New York radio. Now he has his own podcast called Star Report. Who else? Howard Stern. This was all shock jock content. This was shock jock content to the core. And guess he didn't care who he sat on. He didn't care. So, yeah, he might love people and love humanity, but I don't think he had love for all. And I don't think he'll be so forgiving for what happened to him. I don't think so. But just by the way he is, I know he's a God-fearing Christian. I know this. He said it over and over again. Multiple people have came and said it on different podcasts, on different shows. Everything. They said that he's a God-fearing Christian. But I want to say that although he may have made many great points to his content, a lot of it was out of context and further taken out of context. So that's what makes me believe I don't think he loved everyone. And I know who he did love: white men. He loved, and not in a nasty way. Let's be adults here. He wanted nothing more than, and as I do, because look, not white men. I want to see black men prosper. I want to see black men rise above the norm. I hate to see a black man be a statistic. I get where Charlie Kirk is coming from. Nothing like loving yourself and loving your people. But you don't have to tear down other people to make yourself rise above all. You don't have to tear nobody down to bring yourself up. And that, my friend, is why I don't think he really had a love for all. Because he had no problem tearing down other people, because whether you gay or not, whether you think you're a boy and you want to live your life as a girl, a Christian, God says love all, right? Now, let God be the judge. Well, he without sin cast the first stone. Do y'all know where that came from? When a woman was a whore and she got caught cheating with the married man, and she was married, and they dug a hole, put her in it, and was asking Jesus, hey, stone this lady. So what Jesus do? He got down there with her. He said, he without sin cast the first stone. And slowly everybody started backing away. All right, so I'm just saying, yes, he was tearing people down. Let's not act like we ain't all see the same thing. He might not have done it every time, but like I said, he did a lot of it. I mean, watch my live a few nights ago. He turned down LeBron James, turned down black women, turned down Simone Biles. And there's a pattern of the people who he's tearing down to do what? Lift himself up. Oh, black women ain't smarter than a white man. But, hey, man, I'm just here to give my opinion, you know, and if you feel free to put your opinion in the chat, because it is what it is.
On the afternoon of September 10th, I arrived at a Utah hospital to do the unthinkable, to look directly at my husband's murdered body. I saw the wound that ended his life. I felt everything you would expect to feel. I felt shock. I felt horror and a level of heartache that I didn't even know existed. But there was something else too. Even in death, I could see the man that I love. I saw the one single gray hair on the side of his head, which I never told him about. Now he knows. Sorry, baby, telling you now, but never told him. Didn't want to. I also saw this. I also saw on his lips the faintest smile. And that told me something important. It revealed to me a great mercy from God in this tragedy. When I saw that, it told me Charlie didn't suffer. Even the doctor told me. It was something so instant that even if Charlie had been shot in the operating room itself, nothing could have been done. There was no pain, there was no fear, no agony. One moment Charlie was doing what he loved, arguing and debating on campus, fighting for the gospel and truth in front of a big crowd. And then he blinked. He blinked and saw his Savior in paradise. On the afternoon of September 10th.
Boy, y'all gotta have a little bit of humanity. Cause boy, I mean, that's your worst fears right there in front of you. You know, nobody wants to hear it, but it's the truth. It was a sad situation. In a blink of an eye, you gone by some vigilante.
Y'all, somebody said Grindr went off at the CK funeral. They said hundreds of people that were at the CK funeral were all on Grindr at the same time. And other gay apps as well. Now, I just want to know something. Because it's already out there. Can we get pics? I want to see it. I want to see it. Because not y'all sitting there praying to God and on the back sliding left or right to see what y'all gonna hit in Arizona. Because all y'all didn't go home. Every time they say there is a Republican gathering, Grindr goes into overload. But aren't y'all supposed to be conservative Republican Christians? Y'all not supposed to like boys. I mean, like, the girls are supposed to like boys, but the boys ain't supposed to like the boys. And let me tell you something, I ain't got no problem, baby. I swing both ways. But for people that be trying to pray the gay out of people, name the trans community a terrorist community, say that the LGBTQIA plus community needs mental help, baby, y'all sure be playing in our ponds. But what do I know? Y'all don't listen to black women anyway. Y'all.
But law enforcement can only be the beginning of our response to Charlie's murder. Over the last 11 days, we have heard stories of commentators, influencers, and others in our society who greeted his assassination with sick approval, excuses, or even jubilation. You've heard that. So have I. Couldn't believe it. You know the names. They're major losers, by the way. That will be proven out in a short period of time. Some of the very people who call you a hater for using the wrong pronoun were filled with glee at the killing of a father with 2 beautiful young children. And the same commentators who this week are screaming fascism over a canceled late-night TV show where the anchor had no talent and no ratings, last week were implying that Charlie Kirk deserved what happened to him. No side in American politics has a monopoly on disturbed or misguided people. But there's one part of our political community which believes they have a monopoly on truth, goodness, and virtue, and concludes they have also a monopoly on power, thought, and speech. Well, that's not happening anymore. We've turned that corner very quickly. But law enforcement can only be the beginning.
Man, whoever writes Trump's teleprompters knows what he wants to talk about to the T. To the T. They throw a little. Sometimes I think they write bullet points for Trump to talk about, and he can't wait to take a dig at people like Jimmy Kimmel. So he goes off on his own and he says what's on his heart. I swear, he's good at what he does. Speaking of the good of what he does,
I think we found an answer to autism. How about that? Autism. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking in the Oval Office in the White House about autism, how it happens, so we won't let it happen anymore, and how to get at least somewhat better when you have it, so that parents can help their child, their beautiful child. That's a big one. I've been bugging everybody over there. Get the answer to that. I think we found an answer.
all right, so we back on this. We have a cure. We have a cure to. No, it's not even a cure. It's a diagnosis, I guess. You find a problem of what causes something. Like my daughter, she likes these ramen noodles. What's them ramen noodles called? Hold on. They call like Babalu or something like that. Anyway, let me go to her text message. All right, they're called Bulldog ramen noodles. And
hey guys, out of all the noodles that you should not buy, they all bad for you. They all bad for you. But this particular brand that they pushing in your stores, look at this. Just look at it. When you pick this brand up, and they said this giving people cancer. All this brand. Look at this. Look at the warning label. Warning label. It says cancer and reproductive harm. You can go to www.p65warning.ca.gov/food. And y'all giving this to y'all kids. Y'all won't have no grandkids.
you hear that? So we have these warning labels. Why do we have food that can actively cause cancer in our stores? You know what I'm saying? Food that can actively cause cancer. I don't know. The package say it, so it must be right. If Trump said it, it must be right. We got the whole CDC out there, you know what I'm saying, and the USDA fighting for Americans. And it gotta be right. Y'all better start eating better. I think it might not be. I don't know. No. If I'm actively reading something that says it causes cancer, do you think I want to give it to my child again? Like, think. I sent it to her because I was like, yeah, we done with that. No more of those. I don't care how y'all see it on TikTok, you know? But, and I don't eat ramen noodles anyway. That's a whole nother story. But, if y'all got time, I'd love to share it with y'all one day. But it's so much stuff. Like, there's when you go to, when you see certain foods being on the market and they're saying they're taking this out of it and they're taking that of it. You know, if you go to a different country, they cereal tastes totally different. Same cereal tastes totally different because they leave out all the additives. What is America? I ain't trying to be I'm not a food conspiracy theorist, but I do pay attention, and I do know that we do have the worst diets in the world. And we have a USDA who are being paid by them one people that get together and be like, yeah, I'll gladly donate $1 million to your campaign if you let us slide this in there. You know what I'm saying? Lobbyists. They're called lobbyists. Yeah, them lobbyists be gay. So y'all better learn about them lobbyists. And you know what? Those lobbyists, you can't put a face to them. Those people are underground rich people. You'll never see them. But they pulling all the strings to your cereal, all the strings to your medical products. You know why you go to the doctor and your doctor be like, here, try this out, and he give you a whole bag full. I remember way back in the day, and my doctor gave me Allegra. Allegra's, you can buy it over the counter now. Probably ain't even on the counter no, because don't nobody buy Allegra. Like, you got to be like 50 to buy Allegra. But anyway, it was a big ass allergy pills, and my doctor just gave me a bunch of them. He said, take these. I'm like, damn, I'm like 12 trying to swallow this big ass pill. And then as I got older and I started to realize, man, these pharmaceutical companies be using us as lab rats to just, not all man, I got a true story. And y'all can look this guy up. He's called the Pill King. His name is Dr. King out of Oklahoma City. Every week I was going to get 120 Lortabs and 120 Somas. I go in there. He said, rate your pain 1 to 10. 10. He be like, okay. You don't even get a prescription. He hands you a lunch sack. Here, take a couple of these a day, and I'll see you next week. Be in there 5 minutes. Walk out with 120 Lortabs. No lie. In a total of like 2 years of seeing that doctor, and I had to see him because of the car accident. And my lawyer sent me to him. Man, that doctor bill was so damn high. I was like, yeah, that's why he was giving out all them damn drugs. But anyway, he ended up getting caught. and losing his license. But yeah, and Dr. King. But yeah, so beware. Anything with acetaminophen, your kid gonna have autism. Cause they announced it today. They did a whole press conference because they said today they're gonna announce it. But he had to give us this at the Charlie Kirk Memorial. Why? I don't know. It was kind of weird, but we went with it. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, well, let me see what he got to say. This was big news. I mean, this is actually big news, coming up with, you know, a diagnosis to why people get autism. Like this. They said, look, RFK said, I've never met an old person with autism. I don't know a 70-year-old with autism. I'm like, where this nigga been? You ain't never seen a 70-year-old with autism? That's crazy. Is he lying? Never seen a 70-year-old with autism. Whatever. I have, because autism don't mean you like slow. It just means you just like, sometimes you think different. And you can have the same mental capacity as somebody without autism, but you just high functioning or something. You just different. And I've seen different people all my life, and I'm not 70, but I'm not in this generation where we see it more and more often. So I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying they found a cure or whatever. That's what he said. He called it a cure. He said he found a cure to autism. But I don't think they found a cure. I think they just found a leading cause to autism. But if you own any stock in Tylenol, who make Tylenol? Probably Johnson & Johnson, them little sneaky bastards. But whoever owns Tylenol, definitely. Let me see. Let me Google that real quick, because my fact checkers in the chat, y'all slow. But y'all supposed to know this. Who owns Tylenol? It says, Kenvu, the Tylenol maker facing RFK Jr. scrutiny. This is brand new shit. I told y'all. Let's see. Kenvu stock plummeted amidst reports. Butterfly in the sky. I could go twice as high. My bad. I fucked up. Will suggest link between autism and the use of the company's Tylenol medication by pregnant women. Boy, if they done lost all, let me see. Kenvu, a spinoff of Johnson & Johnson. I told y'all Johnson & Johnson been killing people for years. Remember baby oil and baby powder? All that shit causing cancer in the ovaries for baby powder. Damn, I was right. That's why y'all watch me. Y'all be like, I be talking shit and I don't know what I be talking about. But whatever. Anyway, on to the next.
But this is like an old-time revival, isn't it? An old-time revival. Charlie Kirk loved America with everything he had. And as we can see so clearly today, America loved Charlie Kirk. But this is like an old-time revival, isn't it? Could I ask Erika, please come out? Erika, please come out. Thank you.
This was powerful, wasn't it? Powerful. Melania better watch out.
First off, the memorial is also an open event, so that is even crazy. But this is their sync line done, right? They're, oh, Mike, well, are you speaking? Are you one of the 5 people that's speaking at this event? No, I'm not. And guess what? That's not going to stop me. First off, the memorial is also an open event, so that is even crazy.
Like, the lying here is actually making me uncomfortable. I told you yesterday that we received way too many emails about Charlie's memorial. All of them were asking specifically for me to confirm that I was going. Didn't feel good to me. It felt very inauthentic. I know these journalists are not my friends. I knew they were writing hit pieces, but all of them included that question. Are you going? Are you going to go? Like, you want me to confirm my attendance so that you know where I'm going to be ahead of time? Am I being paranoid, or does that seem like a little weird? Even on PBD's show, where he just gives a platform to a guest to completely lie for 2 minutes straight, there is this random second where PBD rather oddly says something along the lines of, you don't think she's going to the funeral? Like, they keep talking about this. Take a listen again.
At some point, her credibility, is going to go down the tubes because she needs to bring receipts. Bill Ackman brought receipts. How long was that tweet?
It's still going. I think
he was there in the room.
Reading it.
Andrew Colbert was there in the room. You're on the board of Turning Point?
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you saw Candace Owens?
In person?
Yeah.
2015,
Oh,
2016.
wow. Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
When's the last time she was at a Turning Point event?
Not in many years.
Okay.
But
so let's without even being biased.
There's
Candace even involved in Charlie Kirk's life at all?
No question proof that Candace Owens has nothing to do. She would be in a perfect world if they didn't have this. What I already know was a very quiet breakup where she got too rabbit hole for him. She would be the logical heir to the TPUSA throne, but she's not.
And now she's not even invited.
Correct. So this is so their divide is.
Wait a minute, not invited meaning
she's not even there.
Yeah, she's not there. One of the names.
Wait, you don't think she'll be at the funeral?
No.
That's
I mean,
not the funeral.
The heir to the TPUSA throne.
She doesn't speak at the events anymore.
Okay, so first and foremost, why did they all want to know if I was going to this event? I said there is no way we are going to this event now. There's a 0% chance. First and foremost, why? There's this memorial thing in Arizona, which is not a funeral. It's a memorial event. Okay, that is, by the way, in large part, from what I understand, being controlled by the White House. Trump is controlled by Zionists. So they're like baiting me here. Why would I be invited by anyone in Trump's Zionist administration as I am speaking about topics that I am speaking? It's common sense. They're not going to allow me to share the stage, right? This is, what was it? Michael Malice. Am I getting the name right? When he was going on his rant, if you watch the rest of it, when he says something's not right, he says people who are close to Trump in the first administration cannot get close to him. He's like surrounded at this moment. Michael Savage, pardon. And he's telling the truth. Okay. I feel like we're an occupied nation. It's got nothing to do. First off, the memorial is also an open event, so that is even crazy. But this is their sync line done, right? They're, oh, Mike, well, are you speaking? Are you one of the 5 people that's speaking at this event? No, I'm not. And guess what? That's not going to stop me from looking into this and understanding what exactly is that happened. You're trying to make us move on because you know that you messed up. There's this memorial.
On Friday's episode of Candace Owens' podcast, she did announce that she would not be attending Charlie's memorial. And the only reason she really said it was because people were pressuring her from different news outlets and articles. She said her team was getting inundated with messages demanding an answer on whether or not she would be at Charlie's memorial. She did say how she would be paying tribute to Charlie instead. So basically the PVD podcast platformed Eric Bowling saying, they were trying to defame her, trying to say that they weren't friends in the later years, saying that she hadn't been around Turning Point USA in X amount of years. Then Candace went on and played different videos of her speaking at Turning Point USA tours last year. And Eric Bowling, I could do a whole video on that dude because I watched the 5 when he was on it, and he's a shady guy. But that's not what this is about. Let's talk about the reason why she's not going to be there. She said, why would I go to something that's going to be held by the feds when I'm currently questioning them? She said, so many people asking specifically if I'm going to be there feels like a security threat. You have to keep in mind she has 4 young kids. Like, I'm pretty sure 4 or 5 and under. So she's got a lot to worry about, and I would be surprised if her husband was like, yeah, I want you to go to that. She goes, why? So I could just take a picture and show that I'm there at the memorial? No, she said, I will pay tribute to Charlie in another way. She said she was going to put her headphones on, listen to the song Power by Ye, and go see Ye, which I thought was very interesting. So there's a video of Candace, Ye, and Charlie Kirk, and Candace and Charlie Kirk loved the song Power by Kanye West because it was like their hype song, and she's broken down the lyrics as to why they loved it and things like that. But that's how she's going to pay tribute. I feel like her digging a little bit deeper into all of this is also a great way to pay tribute. And I think one of the points she was driving home, and while I can't speak for her, I would guess that this is one of the points she was driving home, is the fact that she doesn't need to be there to prove anything to anybody or for a photo op, but rather she was going to do something meaningful. And I think that in the social media day and age, we've forgotten meaning. Like, why do we do certain things? Is it for social media so we can take a picture? I can have a whole conversation about this. A lot of people do these things so they can take photos and post them and be a part of something. Whereas, she's grieving a real loss of a friend in a space that she is in where she could also possibly be under the same threat. So her security, her well-being, and her grieving process is obviously going to be different.
Well, there you have it. Candace Owens didn't go because of a security threat, and I feel it. Listen, Candace Owens. All right, I'm gonna tell y'all what. I wouldn't say I like her, but I understand her. I do wonder how Charlie Kirk felt about her, especially with everything that he said about black women. But that's neither here nor there. That time has passed. They obviously had a connection. And I think at this point right now, people who speak the truth, or if it's your truth or somebody else's truth, however, people who speak things and speak truth on things, unfortunately, they have to look out for themselves. Self-preservation. Self-preservation is one of the keys to long life, and so no, Candace, don't go out there. There's people that don't like you, and because of the things that you say. Now, Candace, I will say this. Not only is she a qualified individual to say to some of the things that she say, even though we may not like it because we think she's so far right-winged, but because she's a black woman, and I don't know if she's married to a white man, but some would assume, I think she's a qualified individual to say some of the things she says, and she has reasonings into why. And that was my thing with Charlie Kirk. If you wanted to say the things that you were saying, I think you should have left that to someone in our, I think you should have let a black person say what you were saying. I think he got too comfortable saying what he was saying. And I think, some of the things that you said would cross the line, and it might bring out a radical or two. And it only took one stupid person to do what they did, but it didn't have to be done. But it's just because people didn't like what he was saying about their lives. Like, sometimes you gotta leave people alone. Sometimes you don't have to go school to school talking bad about people. And too much of that negative intention, along with ego and power, okay? Somebody, Andre Boner said we need Charleston White. Perfect example. Mind you, Charleston White gives us the same messages as Charlie Kirk. Charleston White's a black man. I can listen to Charleston White because I'm like, well, he makes sense. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. He knows our community. He's talking to our people. He's not going to white schools, white universities, talking to, you know, a rice bowl with a few raisins in it. Charleston White is talking to our people. So if you can't listen to Charlie Kirk, you definitely can't listen to Charleston White. But you should. Now I ain't saying, I'm saying you could listen to Charlie Kirk and get some information to get and hear what he's saying. He might say some stuff that's right. You just ain't the messenger. Louis Farrakhan says the same shit, but he's us. He's telling us what we should do. He's giving more to our community to help us out of these situations. Charleston White, he said he don't want to talk to grown folks because y'all idiots. He want to help kids, keep kids from repeating cycles, because if you pass 20, you gonna be who you gonna be. If you can stop them when you were a kid, and that's Charleston White's thing, is feeding the youth, advocating for the youth, and trying to keep stupid people like that rapper Finesse 2 Times from hanging out with a 12-year-old kid, shooting dice, cussing, gang banging. Even though this kid's life still would have been like that, keeping him in those environments and not showing him that there's more to life than shooting dice in the strip club, getting head from women at 12 years old. That's the problem with our community. I can say that because I'm me. Charlie Kirk can't say that. If y'all understand what I'm saying. There's some things you can say as a white person, but if you're a white person and you feel these things, bring solutions and bring a qualified black person to the table, and which is one reason I believe Candace Owens was around, because she was a qualified black person. We don't always like the message, but we better have a damn good messenger. Better have a damn good messenger. So, and shout out to Andre Bonner for bringing that up, because we got to understand, like, Charlie Kirk's not the only person that says this stuff about black people. And I just feel like he was just talking to the wrong crowd. He wasn't talking to us. Now, and then even if he would never go to a black crowd. Charlie Kirk, I don't know if he went to an HBCU. I don't know. I haven't seen one video of him at a HBCU talking about this stuff. Because why? Because it would be a security threat. He went where he felt the most comfortable and let his guard down. Which when you speak in truth like that, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., hell, there's more. You know, when you speak in Dr. Sabi, when you speak in truth, when you speak too much truth, they put a target on your back. And I'm not going to say it's a conspiracy where the FBI has something to do with it. And then, you know, they got this guy who taking the fall for it. Remember, James Earl Ray went to his deathbed saying he never shot Martin Luther King. And yeah, and they threatened HBCUs for what? We wasn't even on his tour list. So why threaten the HBCU? I don't know. But all I'm saying is, you know, I'm not saying I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying look, this is what happens. So take that how y'all will, but I couldn't tell you who was the best president ever. What I can tell you is, economy-wise, we haven't seen a better economy since Bill Clinton. So whether he was the best president or not, just because of that, I think presidents should get head, because hell, it made him do his job right. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Everyday people, thank y'all for tuning in. We will come back with some more stuff. I think we're going to dive into Candace Owens, and we're going to dive into more of this autism thing and other stuff, you know, to be talked about. But we're gonna hit some real topics. This Charlie Kirk stuff, it did open up a lot. It opened up the door for a lot of stuff. But we're gonna talk on some real issues with every community, not just the black community. Okay, because I'm not down for punching down and to lift myself up, as most people do. But I will be doing some more open forum calls as we did last Friday night. Or I don't know how many times we're going to do these lives. Maybe every other night, because I just, y'all, anyway. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Okay? Make sure y'all tune in. Peace. I should have some to-go music like CNN, and I turn and look in the sky.